What is up, everybody? Welcome to Streaming Superstars, and tonight we have a special guest. We have Sarah from Small Changes, and we're going to be talking about organizing, tech, and many others. So let's welcome Sarah.
Hi, Sammy. Thank you
What
so
is
much for
up?
having me.
No problem. Hope everyone's well, and hope the sound levels are doing well. I'm testing out a new mic, so that's why the sound levels could be different, but hope everyone's well. So, Sarah, let's get started. So, what is your YouTube channel about?
So, my YouTube channel is about minimalism and simple living. I am a professional organizer and expert declutterer. So, basically, I help people to declutter those things in their life that aren't bringing them joy anymore and help them get rid of their crap, basically.
So, why did you get into decluttering? Do you know what I mean? How did you get into the space of doing that?
So basically, back in 2013, I had two children, a baby, and I was pregnant with another one, and I was very, very sick. I have two different conditions. One is called sphincter of Oddi dysfunction and one is autoimmune pancreatitis. I decided I needed to find a way out. And the best way that I could do that was to keep things at a level where I could manage. So what I ended up doing was finding minimalism. And I thought, you know what? I bet there's other mums out there that need help. And so I started a YouTube channel. I started sharing how I could make things work, how people with chronic illness, how people who have children with special needs could get the help that they need. And then once I started doing that, I realized, hey, there's people here that aren't mums. There's people here that are into tech. There's people here who are just trying to make it work. And so then I was like, you know what? Minimalism is for everyone, whether they want to go full minimal like I am, or if they just want to minimalize part of their life to make it run better so that they're not worried about, getting on to do their day to day. And that's how I make it work.
Wow, that's so fascinating. Because some people get into it other ways. So that's very, very cool. So I know you have a lot of subscribers, 17,000 subscribers. That's pretty good on a YouTube channel, just cleaning.
Yeah.
It's shocking to see almost 20,000 subscribers and they want to watch you clean.
Yeah. I mean, there's a market for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that, and just creating community. So even if you're not at 100K, that there is, if you have a really good community there, that is just as important as that number of subscribers. That if you've got people who are showing up that are getting value from your content, that is way better than a YouTube algorithm number.
Yeah, so how do you like your community so far? Is it good? Is people very engaged?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
So when I first started, minimalism wasn't a big thing. There were some other creators coming out like The Minimalist and Josh Becker, but at that time they were all single guys, so there wasn't any family content. So when I came along, I started to sort of create this community around people who just needed someone to meet them where they're at. That, if they're waking up in the mess, they don't necessarily need someone who's got it all worked out, that they just want to see someone who is a few steps in front of them, who's willing to look at their spaces and come into their mess and say, hey, look, there's some really good stuff here. We just have to lift off a little bit of the clutter and it's all really good underneath. And so once I did that, they started sharing with me. They wanted to send me their pictures. And I was like, you know what? There is a group of people here who just want to cheer each other on, just like in our live streaming communities where we love to cheer each other on and share and all of those things. The same thing had happened with minimalism, with people making over spaces and decluttering.
I'm curious, have you ever done a minimalist project with cables and gear and tech? Like, go it like, less.
I've done some videos on sort of like how to declutter your digital life. So, you know, looking at how you store your items. I say all the time, you know, digital clutter is completely different when you're keeping it on your computer because 2 is 1 and 1 is none, right, Sammy? Like if you're not backing up to several different places, so it's a bit of a mindset shift when it comes to minimalism and your online in the cloud stuff. But I'm a big OCD advocate for cord and cable management. Nothing drives me nuts more than people who have this super expensive TV and then there's like this cables nest of cables coming down. I'm like, guys, come on. Let's get this sorted. I have like this desk that I work on is my husband's work desk and it's where like I work and live stream from. So the back is like organized chaos of cables.
Okay. I need your help maybe after the stream because I have so much cables and I don't mind if we have to do a one-on-one session, but I have so many cables from different things that I don't even use anymore. I have old Mac gear, I have new things, I have SD cards, I have a bin of cables. I used to have a whole shelf of cables, so it's a little smaller, but I still have cables everywhere. I have snakes, audio snakes, I have
all the things.
All of the things that you shouldn't need. So I would need your help. But that is very interesting, and if you post a video to that would be amazing.
I'll add that to my video list.
Great. So if someone wants to downsize their life or their setup, what is some tips that you would recommend to give them?
Okay, so just like with you, Sammy, there are so many people out there doing what they do just fine with their nest of cables. So I say it in jest, but if stuff is working for you, don't stress too much about the aesthetics unless they bother you. There is a big distinction between two things with tech-loving people. There are collectors, so then there will be your collection of items, so your old Macs, that sort of thing. And then there will be the items that you use to produce your content or what you use to work, or even if you're a mom or whatever, what you use on the day-to-day. And so the same process I would go through with a family to overhaul how they get out of the house is the same process I would use with a tech creator to pare down what they're using with their tech. And so what I would suggest first is write a list of all those things that you're doing when you're about to go live with your content, whether you're about to make a video, whatever that is, whatever your content creation looks like. And then, right, so you've got your camera, you've got these cables, you've got your Mac or whatever computer you're using. And then have a look at what else is there outside of that. And so the same thing can be said for crafters. I know that Lala is out there in the chat, and that, you know, organize your things by project rather than by type, because you're going to have a lot of tech products and you're not going to be using them all the time. So for example, Sammy, let's say you had a GoPro that you used for when you were going to go out vlogging sometimes, but that is on your day-to-day. That's not something you need. So what you want to use is your prime real estate is that stuff you're using all the time, every video. And then that extra stuff will organize elsewhere in a place that's less frequented. So your desk is your prime real estate, and it it belongs only with the special things that you're using all the time.
Yeah, I just have this camera, the Mac, some mics, and that's what I really use. That's the only things that I use. So
Yeah, and that process is so quick, right? You know
Yeah.
exactly what you were using all the time. And then as you remove that other stuff, that's going to make it even easier. You know, I use the analogy of like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg. They wear the same clothes every day purely because it's one less decision they have to make. And so you can do the same thing in your tech setup. You can do the same thing in your kitchen. Just having those things, so you're having to make less decisions every single day. And it also removes that barrier to you wanting to go live, right? If it takes you 2 minutes to sit down and get ready, you're going to be way more likely to do it than if it takes you like 2 hours to set everything up and plug things in and all of that jazz.
Yes. So the thing is, I can just hop on and just go live. So that's great.
Perfect.
Even though I have a lot of cables.
We'll work on that.
Yes. So do you have any cable management tips for anyone that is watching?
Okay, there are some great items that I think are really helpful. So, I probably can't show you right now, but I really like anything that gets put underneath your desk so that you like screw onto your desk and it's like a shelf that lives either, depending on your space, at the back of your desk so you can run cables down the back, or underneath your desk. Another little trick that you can use is velcroing power bricks to the top of your desk so that you can still remove them if you need to, but then they're not lying around, they're up there, they're out of the way. And another like little tip you can use is just getting, I don't know what Americans call them. We call them bulldog clips, but like those clips with the little silver piece that comes out, you can run cables up and you can label what that is. You know, if that's your iPhone charger, if that's your HDMI cable, whatever that is. And then you're going to have all of those things that you can quickly lift up, plug in. Because for me, you know, the same camera that I live stream on is the same camera I record my videos on. So I'm constantly unplugging it and then I can quickly grab that cable and plug it in. But definitely anything that you can screw to the bottom of your desk or anything that will allow you to run cables down the back, highly recommend.
Why don't you have a camera always in your live streaming setup and one in your filming space? I'm just curious.
So basically, I think that's the minimalist in me. Sammy, I got to 10K subscribers filming on an iPhone X. So I was recording, filming with a gimbal and an iPhone till I got to 10K subscribers. And I think that sometimes using what you have
is better, yes.
Than just, you know, and I think one day I am even finding now where some of my content needs to come on the road when I go out to clients and stuff. I'm going to probably need a lighter weight camera, but I'm waiting for my channel to grow into that tech. And when it does, that's when I'll upgrade, because, you know, if you can make do with what you have, that's going to put you in a way better place than, you know, the need for the next shiny thing, because that's a trap for tech, isn't it? Yeah. There's always something new, there's always something better. And so, yeah, if you can enjoy using what you have,
use it for like 20 years and then don't use it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my new catchphrase. Because you shouldn't.
We'll make a t-shirt.
New t-shirt idea. Yay.
Yeah. Use what you have.
Use what you have. Don't upgrade to the Mac Mini M1X 2023 edition in a year, like
exactly,
something like a cool name.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna get more new Macs, and then I'm gonna hoard them.
I know it's hard, and it's all marketed to make you want to upgrade all the time. How?
But I still use those computers. Still today.
Yeah.
Like I just used a 2007 iMac for something, like a little project that I was working on. So
It's so good. And I mean, we had an iMac from when our 15-year-old was born. So what was that, 2006? And it only just recently, like my kids would use it to watch Netflix and all those sorts of things. And so repurposing tech is also
yes.
part of that. You know, if you can put an iPad in your kitchen so that you can use your recipes on it rather than it sitting in a drawer doing nothing,
Yeah.
that's gold.
And like repurposing tech. So I was thinking this. No, not a lot of people have heard this. So I have all these Macs. 95% of them still go on the internet. And they are from
Yeah.
2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006 plus. So I was thinking of putting a little interview mode or something in there so I could reuse them. So like the guest camera is on them. So
Yeah.
I was just thinking of that. But
Yeah, anything that you can do that, you know,
yeah.
utilizes your collection it keeps it more relevant. I always say if these are the things you love, give them a place of honor. And what better place of honor than to actually use them? To, you know, even if it's just to feature in a video or as part of your backdrop, that's still giving them a place of honor. It's not keeping them in a drawer where they're dusty and no one gets to enjoy them. They're out there. They're a conversation starter.
Like, hey, is that one? So
Yeah. Let's face it, some of those Macs are works of art. Are they not? Come on.
Oh yes, I have like a 1993 one. I have a lot of them.
They're beautiful.
They are. But you can't see them because I didn't turn them on, but I could turn them on and
yeah,
next
I love
time.
it.
And they all work. The only thing, I know this is off topic because I usually like to be on topic, but the funniest thing is I'm sad that it doesn't work on ECamm. That's the only thing. I wish that those. Because then I would have had the world record because I have used like 8, maybe 10 computers with ECamm. 10 different computers using the same lessons.
That's the only downfall of tech, right? Like that it keeps upgrading and then things get phased out. And, you know, I used to give my kids old iPhones to use just for games and stuff. But then when they get to the stage where they can no longer take the newest iOS, you know, there's so many apps that won't even let you download on them. And that part's sad.
How do you deal with people that hoard? Like a lot of things that are old that like this is very sentimental. Like I want to keep this. This was my first camera and it doesn't work and it's very big and it's taking up space. You know, like they like hoard stuff. How do you deal with those people?
So it depends on the extent of the situation. So for a lot of the people I work with in real life, the hoarding has gotten to a place where it's impinging on their day-to-day lives. So support workers can't get in, it's creating a place that's unsafe, they're keeping things that are unsanitary. And so there's that side of hoarding, which, you know, we can keep coming back to. The reason we're doing this is because we love you and we want you to be safe. The reason we're doing this is because, you know, you need some more support. And in order for us to get those people in to help you, we need to make this a place that other people can use. And so we just keep coming back to the goal of whatever their goals are or whatever the necessity is. Because often by the time they've reached out for help, it's for necessity. But collections are one of the hardest to deal with because there's that sentimental attachment and there's also the financial, the investment that they've already put in. And that is a huge thing with tech decluttering, is that we've paid good money for it and so we hold on to it. But one of the things I find myself saying over and over again in these sorts of situations where they are cool things, good things, things that you've spent good money on, is that things belong in our life for a season. You know, we're not meant to keep everything forever. We don't even have relationships a lot of the time. We have an ebb and flow of people who come in and out of our life, and holding on to those items does not make it any less money that you've spent. It's not going to save you any money by you holding on to it. If you can let that go, that's actually going to save you money, because you don't have to store it. It's not taking mental space up in your head because you have to look after it. You have to move it every time you move. You have to clean it. And so all of those things are good things to consider. And with tech, you know, there's often some resale value, which can make the band-aid of decluttering a little bit easier. Hey, you know, these things have value to others. We could sell it. And a big thing for a lot of collectors, if they have a collection that's too big and it is impinging on what they can do, is the idea that somebody else could be loving and enjoying it is a good way of allowing yourself to declutter it. You know, if you know that there is someone out there who's going to put that in the backdrop of their live stream because they love it, wouldn't you rather them have it than it be in a box?
That is so right. Okay, so Q, when is Decluttering Sammy Superstar? I can start tomorrow. Yay! I could just live stream it and like get rid of those cables. Yay! This happened to me last time. So last year I took a lot of cables, more cables actually. I had like bins of bins of bins of bins. And do you have OCD or something like that?
I do, yeah. So at the moment, I'm pretty good at keeping my compulsions under control. I don't have any compulsions about cables, but I do about washing and things like that. And one thing I say to my clients is that same compulsion that I have to clean or to make sure that I don't wear anything twice is the same compulsion that they have to hold on to things. And I think when we get to that level of empathy, that we realize, you know, everybody's things that are hard for them are different, and that if we come from a place of empathy, that's how we build trust and how we can help each other grow and let go of those items that aren't bringing us joy.
Yes, and Dr. Elo has seen a picture of my cables, and his OCD like went crazy.
Went into overdrive.
Yes.
So Dr. Elo and I will come over. We'll give you a good cable declutter and set you up with the things.
Sammy Cable Superstar.
A lot of the time, I say this really often, is that people at the beginning of our Zoom call will be like, I'm not going to show you, you know, I just want to talk to you. I don't want to show you anything. And like every single time by the end of the call, they're showing me spaces. They're excited about getting rid of items, because I'm all about meeting people where they're at. And it's not about just getting rid of everything. It's not about telling you you're doing something wrong. It's about, you know, let's see what's working and how we can get this working better, and where things are just going a little bit awry. Stuff. I had to that process of thinking about what you would take with you, it's such a good mind shift as to the things that are really important and the safety of your home.
So this is what happened. I was going through the same process like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, because there was bad floods in New Jersey, and there's never bad floods. And so I had everything set up, and I took everything out because there could be flooding. But my camera died, so I didn't take that out. So now I know, just use USB-C. Yeah, USB-C. But now I have a new camera to thank you. Thank you, everyone that has supported me, did buy me a coffee. I supported myself a little bit, and then but I combined different money. But I realized that I just really use some microphones, cameras, computers. That is it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
So all
And
the
I think,
cables and all that, I haven't even plugged in. So I think maybe I should put it into a place like a shelf or like a in the garage or somewhere or the
yeah.
attic, and then see if I need them, and then in like the next 2 months or weeks I just take them out. Is that how you usually do it?
Absolutely, especially for things that are to do with what you do for work or your hobbies. So, what I would suggest, if I'm working with a client who, say, loves camping equipment, but they have more than they're using on the regular, or a craft, like a big crafter, I would say, okay, well, let's get together everything you would take on a camping trip, and then let's put everything else in separate colored boxes. And if you haven't used that in 6 months, we'll commit to letting those things go. And just that process works really well twofold. I'm sure Lala probably can identify with this, is that one, it's so much easier to do a project or a hobby if everything you need is in one space. So you're more likely to do that thing that you love. And you've also got those other things there if you need them. And if you don't, you can let them go.
This away, or I would rather bring this computer than my main machine. Here's the beauty. Some people know this, but this is a 1998 Macintosh. 1998. Such a great machine. Still works and runs Mac OS 8.1, and it's worth something. Yeah, so old retro Mac. I would rather take this than my newest Mac Mini. So,
Well, you can replace the Mac Mini, right?
but
You can go
not
down to an
this.
Apple store and get a new one, but not that. Exactly.
Retro.
Exactly.
This is when
And
Steve Jobs created it. So, and then I also have like the titanium PowerBooks, and then I have iMacs, and then I have the Power G4 titanium. It's like the heavy
yep,
machine one. That's right
I
over
like
there.
that one.
Yeah.
With the clear handles, right?
Yes.
Is that the one?
No.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
Or no, like a like clear plastic.
Yeah,
handles.
yes,
I like
yes.
that one too.
I have that one
Yeah.
that still works. It's a great machine. So,
And if you have collections like this, that one thing that is super special to you, I would really encourage you to put that on display in your home. Look at, if it's a jersey that, you just want to keep it and frame it, those sorts of things. It's fine to keep those things that you love. It's fine to keep things for sentimental reasons, but give them a place of honor where you can love it and enjoy it. One thing that I find really helpful, especially with sentimental items, if that is an area where you do need to declutter, is I really encourage people to remember the art of storytelling. I think that gets a little bit lost in today's culture, that, we don't sit around the fire or the radio telling stories to each other, and that as you start to share your memories with other people, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, that actually is a great, really underused tool to decluttering, because as we start to share our memories, they don't just reside in the thing anymore. They reside in that story that you share with others, and that there's real power in that storytelling. So if you're not currently doing it, sitting down, having a chat, sharing stories is like a great little tool if you do struggle with decluttering, that, you can share something with someone before you let it go. Take a photo.
That is amazing, yes. Goodbye, cables. Yeah, I'm gonna do a funeral. That would be funny if I did a funeral. Cable's funeral. Like, wow. That's crazy to think that's like I'm impacting people's life with this
Yes.
stream and like helping people like declutter and all of that because to be honest, I just want to get everything out and just start fresh. That would be fun. Just like start fresh, start like I'm over with this, blah blah blah, you know?
Yeah, a fresh slate. And that's why sometimes when people are going through a change in their life, whether they're moving or maybe they changed in a relationship status, those sorts
Yeah.
of things, they're often when they seek out help to declutter because they want a fresh start at the beginning of the new year, those sorts of things. And the reality is, we use about 20% of our possessions on a regular basis. So there's a lot there. There's like 80% of stuff there that you might still keep because you do use it regularly, but there's probably a lot of stuff there that can just go.
So I really want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the stream. The stream is almost over. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And we're going to dance this stream out. I think I had so much fun with this stream. And I can't wait to maybe do another one because I usually sometimes do two because everyone wants them to be back actually. So I'm not joking. Like I get messages like, Sammy, can you bring
We want
back
to see that
this?
go.
Yeah, like I might bring back Paul.
I think one of the things that I know about watching your live streams is compared to other interviewing channels I've watched is that you let the person talk and like finish their entire thought. Is there anything worse than watching an interview when you want to hear what the person they're interviewing is saying and the interviewer interrupts like halfway through and you're like, hang on, no, wait, I was getting into that. And
Yeah.
I think, you just allow space for those people to finish their thought.
And actually, the funniest thing is sometimes when you're speaking, I'm doing other things, so it gives you more time. Like, Sammy,
Exactly. It's a double win.
Yeah, double win. So we're gonna dance this stream out. I will see you next time. Had so much fun.
Me too, Sammy.